conspiracy theories have been around since the beginning of time. The Kennedy assassination. Did the U.S. government assassinate the president? I do not know. Probably not. Area 51. Did the U.S. government cover up UFOs? I don't know. I personally do not believe so. I don't believe many conspiracy theories, but there is one that is true. The targeted individual conspiracy is true, and I'm confirming that. I have a degree in physiology from a college of medicine. I have worked with people who have mental illness in a mental health clinic. Upon this work, I came into contact with targeted individuals. I believe these people had mental illness and were schizophrenic. I did not believe them at all. I stopped believing them the second I started reading about the technologies. The technologies are impossible, I thought. These people are schizophrenic. A simple review of the technology of the day will lens that this technology does exist. In a capitalistic society, if there's no commercial use for a product, it is not known about. These technologies have no real commercial application yet, so far. In the future, as these technologies advance, they will come into the public knowledge as they become consumer products. These are real technologies like voice to skull. How would it be possible to put a voice into a person's head through their skull? That's impossible, I thought. Well, as it turns out, astronauts have infrared microphones that do not use the eardrums. They are actually placed directly behind the ear. Astronauts have a special ear that they're placed behind the ear and they vibrate and you can hear sounds. There are ultrasonic speakers, for example, where nobody else can hear it but the individual that they're pointed at. Lastly, transcranial magnetic stimulation. Transcranial magnetic stimulation is used in hospitals every day. It uses magnetic fields to activate the voltage-gated channels of your nervous system. Your nervous system has voltage-gated channels. These voltage-gated channels can be manipulated with magnetic fields, causing them to turn on and off. Now, it seems like, whoa, that would be impossible to send a voice into a person's head. But this coming to light, obviously, that would be more than possible. I mean, a TV is nothing but glass and wire, and you can send a television program or a movie through space in the air to a television and play a movie. Why not play something directly to somebody's head? To a sensory device that was developed to process information. Moreover, if this technology existed, why wouldn't the U.S. government let people know about it? Well, the U.S. government has classified technology. From the beginning of time, the U.S. government has classified certain technologies as dangerous. This obviously would be a very dangerous technology. Being able to manipulate people, manipulate the brains, make them hear things, make them see things, that'd be a very dangerous technology. The atomic bomb was attempted to be concealed. Unfortunately, the Germans, I think Einstein began work with the Germans, and because of that, other countries knew about it. If it was up to the United States government, there would be no other country that would even know about the existence of the atomic bomb. Unfortunately, to the detriment of humanity, all countries, including North Korea, know about the atomic bomb. These technologies are being concealed because of that, because in the wrong hands, they can be very dangerous, potent, evil technologies. Technology is usually used for harm first, before it's used for good. This is a technology that is being used for harm. I apologize, I'm very nervous. So, the first thing I'd like to say is gang stalking. Gang stalking is not real. When I first became a targeted individual, and not knowing what that it was, I was subject to gang stalking. And gang stalking is just merely many people around you, many people around you that you do not know, harass you, and imply and tell you that they're trying to ruin your life. You will watch police officers, for example, who will say to your face, "We're trying to put you in prison." Or your friends, coworkers. People will say, "We know you're no good. We know you're evil." And you will watch them say these things to your face. Now, this does not happen. Your parents, your fathers, your wives are not involved in a conspiracy to try to ruin your life. What happens is they start with the people closest to you, so you are isolated and alone. They try to get you to move somewhere alone. They try to isolate you, and then they can destroy your life once you're isolated. Seemingly evil, however, we know from Nazi Germany, human beings in a group are more than capable of being evil. So what will happen is you will watch these people try to ruin your life, and you will, of course, get very upset and freak out. And that's the plan, to get you to freak out and end up in prison and ruin your life. That is the goal. So I've told many TIs that I've met, gang stalking is not real. And they usually do not believe me. And when when somebody else told me it wasn't real, I did not believe it. I thought it was 100% real. However, after many years of gang stalking, my what we call perpetrators, the people doing this to me, showed me, very stupidly, they showed me that it is not real. They showed me that it is a simulation that occurs in your head, kind of like CGI. It's like movie CGI that plays out in your head. So what they did to me is, when I was being fired, my manager was talking to me, and then they doubled her. So everything else in the room was fine. Everything else was nothing else doubled. Only I saw a double of the person firing me. So there was one, and then another one floating there. Everything else was perfectly crystal clear. When I think it was crystal clear, I saw everything else crystal clear. But the hiring manager doubled. So it was like copy and paste. They copied and pasted her, and there was a duplicate of her, just kind of floating in space. And the real one continued talking, and the duplicate just stood there with her mouth agape, staring at me. And that's why I know it is fake. Because I watch people, close friends, family, my father, my mother, my girlfriend, people harass me, telling me things like they wanted to put me in prison, that it is a dragnet, that my life is over. And this never happened. I am sure that this never happened, even though I watched this happen. Because you will be sure as the sun is hot, as the sun is bright, that these people are doing this to you. But they are not. Please believe me. That is the goal. And if you do not believe that they are involved in this, then your perpetrators lose power. My gang stalking has ceased 100%. The day that they showed me that gang stalking is essentially a hologram is the day it stopped. They gang stalked me for years. 4 years. As a professional, as a person working as a professional, they gang stalked me. And they stopped the day they showed me, and I realized it was a hologram. Do not believe it. It is a hoax designed to ruin your life. I will return with more of these videos. I will document my efforts to expose this conspiracy, because it is real. I will try to convince many more of you. Please feel free to email me if you are a targeted individual. I know the pain and suffering you go through. I know that nobody will believe you. I know that you are alone and you're having your life destroyed. This very morning, I was subjected to pain. I was aroused to horrible pain, and I could not breathe. And if you're a TI, you will believe me. And if you're not a TI, you will say, oh, well, you need to go to the hospital. No, I do not need to go to the hospital. I need somebody to believe me and help me investigate that electromagnetic weapons do exist, and they are being used on innocent people as guinea pigs. Stay strong. Just call me Captain America. I'll be here with you, and we're going to fight together.